our first guest is Gary Krupp, who is the 7th Jew in history to be given knighthood by the Vatican. He is the founder of the Pave the Way Foundation and joins us now from New York. Welcome, and tell us how you were given royal honors by multiple popes.
I was knighted first by John Paul II. I was the 7th Jew in history to receive that. Then I was knighted again by Pope Benedict in 2007. And now my wife and I were raised to the highest rank by Pope Francis. Now, what does this say? This and, $2.50 gets you on a bus. This is not relevant. The relevant part is that we're trusted within this institution, the Roman Catholic Church. It's 1.2 billion people. We've been treated with the absolute utmost respect by literally everybody. I have never once, not once, heard a negative thing about Judaism or about our faith. And there's a reason for it. It's a sin in the Catholic Church to be anti-Semitic. Simply.
Gary, you founded Pave the Way Foundation 20 years ago, supporting interreligious cooperation that supports peace, unity, and understanding. What is your background that led to this personal mission of yours?
First of all, my father liberated Buchenwald and Utrecht concentration camps with General Patton. All of my uncles were in the military at the time. I grew up with pictures of Buchenwald, of the bodies. And my father told me, never forget this, never forget. We've had wartime documents for decades. Nobody will look at it. We have documents of how the Vatican interceded to stop the Armenian genocide, 2,500 pages of this. We have documents of how much he hated Adolf Hitler. Everyone said he was Hitler's pope. We have proof that he saved close to 1 million Jews during World War II, which is 4 million Jews today, which is 25% of the entire Jewish population.
Gary, with so much of your family fighting against Nazism, why is it so important for you to set the record straight about Pope Pius XII, who is portrayed by history as being Hitler's pope?
Pius XII, during the war, his best friend was an Orthodox Jewish kid by the name of Guido Mendez. He was a thoracic surgeon. The Pope reached out to send him to Palestine, actually, and his family's still in Ramat Gan. Pius XII would borrow the books of the great rabbis. He'd go to his house for Shabbat dinner. So you understand there are lies that are told. The entire notion of deicide, or that the Jews killed Christ, ended in the 60s. It is a sin for a Catholic to be anti-Semitic today. So we put 76,000 pages of documents on our website, free to use. None of the historical revisionists have ever come on. All of the critics, none of them, to even see these. I had to meet with Pope Benedict 19 times to get papal permission to publish these documents. Pope John Paul 4 times, Pope Francis 4 times. We meet them all the time. Cardinals. I have never been treated with anything but the highest respect.
For decades, Gary, people are obsessed with the investigation as to what's really inside the Vatican Library. You personally have been there. So tell us, what's there or not there?
What's really there, and I'll tell you, because is number one, they do have the largest repository of medieval Hebrew manuscripts in existence today. And yes, they didn't steal them. Understand that Judaism is the roots of Christianity. So they cherish them. They have, in fact, the oldest Torah in existence today, pre-Babylonian. But they can't show it. They can't do anything with it because it's so delicate.
Meanwhile, you've managed to even get the first loan in history from the Vatican to the State of Israel in order to bring the famous Maimonides manuscripts to Haifa. Why was this so providential?
They've tried for decades to see the Mishnah Torah and certain Maimonides manuscripts and so on, and they've never been able to be successful. I said, well, I'll try. And I wrote a letter to at that time, the president of the Vatican State, requesting that I can bring a group of Jewish scholars to the Vatican Library to see these. He says, absolutely, it is our pleasure to invite you to come. And that's how Pave the Way started, because I was so shocked that we were actually able to make this happen. Just to show you how providential it was, the books were laid out in a showcase, a glass showcase. The rabbis looking in the Mishnah Torah, there was supposedly a sentence that was a confusing thing that the Rambam had said this about Jewish marriage. It's either biblical or rabbinic and so on. And the book was open to the page to describe that. And they're freaking out. They're saying, I got goosebumps and everything.
For centuries, scholars, archaeologists, and even lay people have been obsessed with finding the gold, the menorah, and other relics looted by the Romans when they destroyed the Second Temple. Do you think it is in the Vatican?
The Vatican was not formed for 600 years after that, number one. And Rome was sacked twice, 2 times. Everything of value was taken. So the menorah, a gold menorah, is on somebody's finger today. So, and they showed us, yeah, we have a menorah, all right, but the little menorahs that we give it to them, they have, and many things. And they said, if we did have this, why wouldn't we show it? Why? For what reason? We would be proud. It's part of our faith.
Gary, thank you so much.